How's it going, you big beautiful bastards? Welcome back to another career resim. Today we have the Hall of Fame running back, Broncos legend, two-time Super Bowl champion, one-time MVP, Terrell Davis. I listed all of his accolades there. I'm actually trying to think if he won a Super Bowl MVP or not. He did win a Super Bowl MVP, so I missed one of his many accolades. He also has 2 Offensive Player of the Years. Terrell Davis is one of those guys that in a short NFL career, he played 7 seasons and managed to stack up all of those accolades, and I'm pretty sure as of right now is still the leading rusher in the history of the Denver Broncos. Also, as you guys can see, he has gloves on. It finally lets you edit the appearance in the draft classes. Everybody's not number 11 or 22 anymore. You can finally edit their appearances, change their numbers. So I got him an accurate face mask. I got him his nose tape and his eye black that he always used to wear. He's got gloves on each hand. In all of the pictures I was looking at of him, he didn't really have elbow guards or like wristbands or anything, so I kind of just went with the gloves. Also, for his college, I left him at Georgia, even though he transferred from somewhere to Georgia in '92. As you can see right now, he's a top running back in the draft. He's projected pick number 4 in the second round, which I could see him going before that, being an 80 overall coming out of the draft. We'll have to see. We'll probably watch the whole draft all the way through. I got to figure out who has the number 1 overall pick and switch over to that team. So for the second sim in a row, the Detroit Lions had the number 1 overall pick, as Madden is still disrespecting this team that is actually very good in real life. So for the number 1 overall pick, Detroit takes Brock Bowers. Didn't expect Terrell to go there. Cardinals have James Conner. They could take him, but I don't see that. Pittsburgh has Najee Harris. They're not going to take him. Patriots could, I guess. They have Ramondre. They don't. The Seahawks have K9. The Eagles have a lot of running backs. It just kind of depends who they have in this game, and it's not them. The Bucks could. They have Rashad White. They take JJ McCarthy. Okay. Chiefs have Isaiah Pacheco, but I guess they could use a running back. The Chicago Bears could use anything. And yeah, he's a Chicago Bear. Okay. I'll take the Bears. It's kind of funny to get the Bears after I just watched Thursday night game the other night and DJ Moore put up 230 and it's 3 touchdowns on 8 catches after I just subbed him in fantasy about an hour before the game started. Best decision I ever made. It was an hour before the game. I was talking to my friends on Discord. I go, what do you guys think? Should I put DJ Moore in? The one goes, yeah, just do it. And I did it. And the dude's just... he went crazy. So as we go in and look at this offense, I did mess up a little bit. I forgot to mess with his dev trade and everything, so I didn't give him an X factor because as going into the draft, I had to change it. So I just gave him superstar because I knew coming out of the draft he wasn't going to have hidden dev because I changed it as we were drafting. So he is superstar dev, but he's an 80 overall. You still have Justin Fields at quarterback. You got DJ Moore. Darnell Mooney's been bumped down to receiver 3 as you have Marvin Harrison Jr. So they had 2 first-round picks, though, and they took Marvin Harrison, and then with the second one, they took Terrell Davis to really try and bolster this offense a little bit as Khalil Herbert gets bumped down to running back 2. You still have Cole Kmet and Cade Stover. I'm assuming this is Cade Stover. I can't say still had Cade Stover. God, I'm watching the Ohio State game right now. He's playing. He hasn't been drafted. He was just drafted. So they drafted 3 skills positions. But now let's sim through his rookie season. Let's see what Terrell can do. See what this Bears team can do. I'm not expecting too much being on Chicago because the Bears never do great, but he's at least a running back, and they tend to switch teams a lot more than quarterbacks do in our sims. I do want to say as we sim through this first season, thank you to everyone for all the kind words on the Manziel sim. I was talking about struggling with my mental health and everything, and there was so many comments saying like, you got this, it's gonna be okay and everything, and it means a lot. Thank you everyone. I'm doing better. I'm doing great this week. I just really had to get back on my grind and get back in my mindset of growth and progression and everything, and I'm getting there. I'm working towards that. And Ohio State just had to punt again, down 7-0 against Maryland. Oh, we muffed it. Oh, and they got it back. So once again, one of the worst teams in the league as they go 4-13. They did have the number 12 rated rushing offense, averaging 116.5 yards a game. But to be fair, Terrell Davis is sharing the backfield with a running back who can also throw the ball a little bit in Justin Fields. We'll take a look, see where Terrell Davis was at, as Justin Fields didn't even throw over 3K yards, 19 touchdowns and 12 picks. Not great. Rushing, you had Terrell Davis with 258 carries for 962 and 7 touchdowns. It's wild. Justin Fields got 165 rushing attempts for 695 and 5 touchdowns, but I guess it works because he's fast. He's just that guy. Go over here, you got Patrick Mahomes as MVP, as expected. There's Dak. We'll go over to the NFC Offensive Player of the Year is CD's nuts. Your offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Michael Penix Jr. There's Caleb Williams. There's Raheem Sanders. Okay, I was thinking Shador Sanders when I saw Sanders, but Terrell Davis is down here in 4th in Offensive Rookie of the Year, so he doesn't end up winning an award in his rookie season. But when you're basically splitting carries with your quarterback, that's kind of to be expected. He's not going to put up big numbers like that. So this team's going to have to move on from Justin Fields at some point, though, if they plan on winning anything. So let's take a look, see if maybe they decided to move on from Justin Fields in year 2. I kind of doubt that they did. I think he's going to be here. Yeah, he's up to an 81, though, so he progressed a little bit. Marvin Harrison is already up to an 87. DJ Moore is an 88. Terrell Davis is up to an 83. Didn't unlock an X Factor. Cole Kmet even went up to an 82. So this offense did improve a lot during that offseason. So I think you can expect a little more out of this team this season. My big thing is the detriment to this team is going to be the staying loyal to Justin Fields, but I understand. But I also I think Justin Fields is a great quarterback. I think Matt Eberflus and I mean, they don't have an offensive coordinator anymore, but I just think that team has really failed him as a quarterback and as a young player, because you look at Justin Fields at Ohio State, the man could throw the ball. Yeah, that's what I was waiting for. I was Matt Eberflus and I just got fired, so I'm assuming the team didn't do too great. We're going to go over here and retire and go take over as the new coach. So since I don't technically have a coach right now, I got to build one. We'll just go to team builder. It can be Chris Dale here. I'm going to edit him a little bit because I want him to look jacked. Oh yeah, we want a long sleeve coach. Can I make him jacked? I can't make him jacked. Come on. Let's see how light can I make him. That didn't change anything. All right, fine. We're going to be like 6'5", but I can't change how physique. Hold up. Oh no, can you change? No, this is just his face. Okay, we'll leave him like that. He's just tall. I really wanted to make him jacked. I wanted a Dan Campbell kind of build. They did go 7-10 that season, which is very much improved. The passing offense was still dead last in the league, but they had the number 2 rushing offense, which again helps when you have a running back at quarterback. Justin Fields, 2,600 yards, 18 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Not a great season for him. Rushing, there's Terrell Davis. Terrell had 279 carries for 1,282 yards and 6 touchdowns, no fumbles. Let's see, yards after catch, he had 104. I guess I could look at his receiving stats too. Or that was yards after contact, I guess, on the last one. But receiving, he had 27 catches for 174 and 2 touchdowns. So he is getting the ball as a receiver a little bit. But now with Eberflus being fired, hopefully the offensive scheme changes a little bit, and now we move on to year 3 of Terrell Davis's career already, as in the first 2 years this team has managed to go 10-24. As we go into year 3 of Terrell Davis's career, we do still have Justin Fields at quarterback up to an 82. We still have DJ Moore, Marvin Harrison Jr., and Darnell Mooney, who have all improved. If he could throw the ball, he has a stacked receiving core. You also get Terrell Davis, who's an 86, still yet to unlock an X Factor. You get Cole Kmet here at an 83. I think we're going to change up the schemes and maybe the playbook a little bit just to kind of improve the chances of this team doing good. We're going to switch him over to the Niners playbook because I feel like that gives him a better opportunity to succeed, especially if they use him like how the Niners use CMC. I think that's a better fit for a Terrell Davis kind of player. See, I didn't know a lot about Terrell Davis. I didn't realize his career was so short because I knew he had all the accolades and everything, and he's a Hall of Famer and everything, but I didn't realize that he played 7 seasons and has an MVP, 2 Super Bowls, 2 Offensive Player of the Years. But he also, I guess, came into the league a little later in age because I think he was born in 72, drafted in 95, so I put him as a 23-year-old. And there you have it. We're finally in the playoffs in year 3. They go 10-7. They are playing the Detroit Lions in the wild card round. The Lions went 11-6. Take a look here at the stats and awards. We'll see how our boy did. You had Justin Fields, who did improve as a passer this season with 3,500 yards, 27 touchdowns, and 4 picks. Go over to rushing. You had Terrell Davis, who had 273 carries for 1,234 yards and 9 touchdowns. The backup running back behind him, Shaheem Bowens, had 135 for 450 and 9 touchdowns as well. Okay, so the running game popped off a little bit this season with 18 touchdowns. Terrell Davis had a 75-yard longest run. Take a look at how they're using him receiving, as he did have a very improved receiving season this season. He had 40 catches for 307, no touchdowns, but still 307 receiving is pretty damn good. And now we got our first opportunity to see this team play as they're in the playoffs. The Chicago Bears are playing the Detroit Lions. You got Brock Bowers, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and goofball Jared Goff is still the starter on this team and has an X Factor. They do currently have the lead. They make it a 10-point game. The Lions make it a 7-point game once again, and they just tied the game with 2:10 left. So now we have to go in and we get to watch this offense try. It's obviously going to be a passing situation, but he can throw the ball to Terrell Davis, who is lined up to his right there. You can see his superstar dev logo underneath him. Justin Fields is in the shotgun, dropping back to throw, has time, throws the out to DJ DJ Moore. Justin Fields comes out once again in the shotgun. Terrell Davis, he's going out. Terrell's wide open, sitting down, but Justin tried to scramble, and he ends up taking the sack, and now they have to punt, and they're letting the Lions go right down the field. They're in field goal range. It is 4th and 6, though, and they end up missing the field goal. Okay, so now the Bears come out with a minute 17 left with an opportunity to drive down and take the lead. Terrell Davis to Justin Fields is right in the shotgun here. Justin is going to take the snap. He's dropping back to throw. He's got time. Terrell Davis was sitting down in the middle, wide open, but Justin rolls out and ends up throwing it away. He doesn't like throwing his checkdowns despite having Terrell Davis wide open. Once again, Terrell Davis is in the shotgun with him. He calls an audible, but Terrell stays on his left side. Can see Marvin Harrison Jr. up there, also with a superstar under him. Terrell is to his left, wide open, but he ends up throwing the pass to Darnell Mooney, and it's incomplete, and now it is 3rd down once again. So we're not getting to see very much of Terrell Davis here, as you do have Justin Fields in the shotgun, Terrell Davis on his left. He is staying back there to block this time. He was helping out, and Justin misses the throw, and now it's 4th and 10, and they're going to punt again. And the Lions basically complete one play to Donovan Peoples-Jones, and they are in field goal range and can basically end the game here, and the kick is good with 8 seconds left. The clock is going to wind down, and the Bears are going home in the wild card round. Rough first playoff game for Terrell Davis in his career. Justin Fields is not John Elway. Can see Fields did kind of outplay Goff touchdown-wise, yardage-wise. Goff almost threw 100 more. Rushing, Jahmyr Gibbs had 40 yards and a touchdown. Terrell Davis had 15 carries for 53 and no touchdowns. I realistically kind of want him to switch teams, but I also I just want the team to move on from Justin Fields and try and get a better quarterback. As now we move on to year 4, which would be the last year on his rookie contract, so he does have the potential to leave after this, but also Justin Fields could be gone, and they could get a better quarterback at throwing the ball and actually winning them games. If they get a better quarterback, I'd prefer for him to stay. If they don't and they continue to rock with Justin Fields, I'd like to see him leave and go to a different team, maybe a team that actually utilizes their Hall of Fame running back in the correct way. Ohio State looks so bad right now, by the way. Maryland's only up 7-0, but this offense just is not great. It's sad both of the football teams I root for have just bad offenses. I don't want to knock Kyle McCord, but I don't like Kyle McCord compared to what Justin Fields and CJ Stroud were. I can't say Kyle McCord's a bad quarterback. I just think he's too young and he's too new into the system that he isn't adjusted to it yet in the correct way, I guess is the way to say it. And now as we go into year 4, you can see Justin Fields is still the quarterback. He is up to an 84 overall. Terrell Davis is an 89. Marvin Harrison is now receiver 1 at a 90 overall. Darnell Mooney still receiver 3 at an 84. DJ Moore is an 87. Cole Kmet is up to an 84 overall. So this offense has obviously improved enough to get them to the playoffs. Again, I'd just like to see them utilize Terrell Davis a little more, especially there at the end of that game. Justin Fields just needed to throw his checkdowns. Terrell Davis was wide open on a couple checkdowns for at least a gain of 6 on those last 2 drives there that he had. They won the division. They went 11-6. They're the number 1 team in the NFC North. Don't know what seed they are, but they're playing the Green Bay Packers in the wild card round. As you can see, the number 11 ranked total offense, 16th passing, 13th rushing, 17th ranked defense. So the defense is still throwing for the Chicago team. Justin Fields almost had 4,000 passing yards and 32 touchdowns. So he has gotten better. He has improved. I'll give him that. Rushing wise, you once again had Terrell Davis with 289 for 1,248 yards and 11 touchdowns. He finally fumbled the ball, the first fumble of his career. Receiving wise, he had 32 catches for 278 and a touchdown, which means he had again 1,500 yards of offense and 12 total touchdowns. I'll go take a look at these in-season awards. I should look if he wins best running back. Best running back went to Saquon Barkley, followed by Bijan Robinson and Blake Corum. Scroll down here, Terrell Davis was all the way down in 7th. He couldn't pass K9. So let's see what they can do in the wild card round here against the Packers. They lost to the division rival last year in the playoffs in the wild card round, but this time they are the home team, and Talea just threw up a bomb and it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown. Another Maryland touchdown. Oh, they called incomplete? Oh, nice. God, if I have to watch both my teams lose this weekend, it is going to be a miserable weekend. And Monday at work, I'm going to go in there and have to listen to everybody talk so much shit. It's looking like they're once again going home in the wild card round. They're down 41-21 to the Packers. They end up losing by that same score. They were getting killed. Mike Tomlin is the coach of the Green Bay Packers. I don't believe it. Yeah, okay. That was 100% Mike Tomlin in a Green Bay Packers uniform. I don't know who Ward is. They must switch Denzel Ward to quarterback. It's probably an auto-generated guy, but hey. Cameron Ward, I don't know if that's a real guy from the 24 draft class or if that's an auto-generated guy. The only big quarterbacks I know are like Bo Nix. I know Caleb Williams, obviously. Drake May. Shador Sanders. I don't know if Cameron Ward is a quarterback that's currently in college football or not. We'll go look at the player stats, though, where you had Justin Fields throw 2 touchdowns and 2 picks, as Cameron Ward threw 5 touchdowns. Rushing, J.K. Dobbins for the Packers had 65 yards and no touchdowns. Terrell Davis got shut down and had 12 carries for 34 yards and no touchdowns. Justin Fields almost had as many yards as him. And now we move on to year 5, where Terrell does have the opportunity to leave this team and go to a better team with a better quarterback that knows how to better utilize him, which I'm hoping he does, because I really don't want to see him waste his entire career in Chicago like a Barry Sanders situation in Detroit. So Terrell did end up staying. I'm imagining he's on a new contract then. Being a first round pick, it could be a 5th-year option, and it is a 5th-year option, so he does still have one more season here. Justin Fields is up to an 85. Cole Kmet's up to an 84. Darnell Mooney's back to receiver 2 as Marvin Harrison Jr. is gone, and that's gonna hurt so bad for this team that was actually starting to succeed passing the ball. DJ Moore is back to receiver 1 at an 86 overall. So let's see what happens here in year 5, though. Do I expect them to make the playoffs after losing Marvin Harrison? Probably not, because I expect that's going to have a big impact on the passing offense, but they have made it the past 2 seasons, so there is an opportunity to redo that and go again. After they fired Matt Eberflus, it's kind of changed the team. Maybe the new coach came in and he changed the culture of the team, and he actually has these guys playing confidently. And like I said, they end up missing the playoffs. So losing Marvin Harrison Jr. did negatively impact this offense a lot, as they were the number 10 rushing offense, number 14th passing, number 20 overall. They went 6-11, so they weren't even really close to making the playoffs. They weren't even close to being above 500. Fields threw 3,800 yards and 26 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. Rushing, Terrell has one of his best seasons so far with 280 carries for almost 1,400 yards and 9 touchdowns. Take a look receiving. Terrell had 33 catches for 240 and 2 touchdowns. So he had, 13 total touchdowns? Or 11 total touchdowns. Okay. 11 total touchdowns, just around 1,600 yards. We'll take a look, see if he won best running back. I don't think he did this season. Offensive player of the year is once again CD's nuts. Best running back ends up going to Braylon Allen. There's Christian McCaffrey, Bijan Robinson, Blake Corum, Saquon Barkley, Kenneth Walker, and there's Terrell Davis down in 7th again. The same 6 people ahead of him that were the last time too. Now let's sim on to year 6, where he is going to be an unrestricted free agent and has the opportunity to leave this team. I hope he does that, or I've been saying it, I hope this team moves on from Justin Fields. And he doesn't end up leaving. He did re-sign here, as Chris Dale is still the head coach. Justin Fields is still the starting quarterback, and there's DJ Moore. This guy's entire name is blurred out. They ended up finally losing Darnell Mooney, who got tired of suffering with this team, so DJ Moore is the only remaining receiver. We'll take a look at Terrell's new contract here. He re-signed on a 3-year deal worth around, probably 24 million, I'd say. 25. I had to do my math. You add on the decibels and everything at the end, it's around 26, 27, but we'll just stick with 26 million. His overall interest to re-sign, though, is like all the way down at the bottom, so I don't know why he re-signed to this team on a 3-year deal, but that's just how Madden works. Cole Kmet is still here as well. He's still an 84 overall. Now let's go see if this team can turn it around and get back to the playoffs in Terrell Davis' 6th season, or if they are wasting a Hall of Fame talent running back's career. They once again won the division. They had the 13th ranked total offense, 8th ranked rushing offense, as the defense has completely turned it around and was 4th ranked in the league. Take a look here. We'll see what our boy did. Justin Fields once again still can't hit 4,000 yards, but he was close, as he had 32 touchdowns to 11 picks. Terrell Davis had 296 carries for 1,250 yards and 10 touchdowns. Receiving wise, Terrell Davis had one of his best receiving seasons with 39 catches for 366 and 3 touchdowns. Caleb Williams won your league MVP. As we go down to the NFC, we'll take a look. Offensive player of the year is Brandon Ayuk. Best running back, I have a feeling, it's Blake Corum. As we scroll down here, Terrell Davis has moved up to 5th on this list. All right, let's see what they can do in their 3rd playoff appearance in 6 years. See if they can finally get out of the wild card round. They are yet to be able to do that. They've been blown out every time. They are playing the Panthers with Tyler Golden, Braylon Allen, one of the best running backs in the league right now, and JC Horn. They are currently down. They're down 10. They're gonna lose. Yeah, down 13, and it's over. They lose 41-28. They still are yet to get out of the wild card round. That game was never close, as Justin Fields threw 335 and 3 touchdowns. He did outplay Bryce Young, so I don't know who sold out. Okay, Braylon Allen kind of was the one that won him the game with 112 and a touchdown, as Terrell Davis only had 13 carries for 36 yards and no touchdowns. So he can't really perform in the playoffs, but he does good during the regular season. Again, I don't know if that's something to do with the schemes. I hate how much Madden has emphasized on what scheme and what playbooks you run. Now we move on to year 7, where he is still getting wasted in Chicago. I don't know what else to do here. The Bears kind of just suck. It's kind of a given. They have have for a very long time. And as we go into year 7, Justin Fields is still here in an 85 overall. Terrell is already down to a 90. Cole Kmet's down to an 81. DJ Moore is already back down to receiver 2 in an 84. As the Samuel guy is an 85 and is now receiver 1. Then the blurred out name guy is all the way up to an 81 overall. I don't even know what his name could be. Like, what is that? The whole name's blurred out. But he does have 2 more years under contract here, so we at least have year 7 and year 8 to look forward to of him in Chicago. I don't know if we should really look forward to it. In year 7, they do make it back to the playoffs. They are currently 9-8, so 3 teams from the NFC North made the playoffs, as the Lions did and the Vikings did. The Packers are all the way down at 7-10, and I imagine didn't make it. They had the number 7 ranked rushing, they had the number 10 ranked rushing offense. The 25th ranked passing offense, as Justin Fields is starting to decline a lot. He had a couple good years and just hasn't gotten better. Fields almost threw 3,500, but he only threw 22 touchdowns to 7 picks. We go to rushing. Terrell Davis is around his usual mark of 1,250 yards. 12 touchdowns, I think, is a career high. Receiving, Terrell had 44 catches for 357 and a touchdown. So he had 13 total touchdowns this season, and once again, around 1,500, 1,600 total yards. So he's putting up good numbers statistically. It's just this team can't seem to win anything. Best running back once again goes to Blake Corum, and you have Terrell Davis here in 5th. Ohio State just got a pick 6, but there's a flag. Ah, man, it's coming back. I think the flag was on the run back, though, so that at least counts as an Ohio State ball. Oh, let's go. They finally scored. Okay, now let's get into this. Let's get into this Bears game. Bears versus Seahawks, where they have Dallas Turner, Marion Calhoun, and Lonnie Barber. Our top 3, you got Michael Hall. Tremaine Edmonds is still around, and you also have Morgan Graham. As Terrell Davis isn't even in the top 3. He hasn't cracked it. He hasn't even got an X Factor. He is down to star dev. He doesn't even have superstar dev anymore. This offense just has no magic in the playoffs. I've watched them punt every drive, and there was another punt. They're down 17-0 going into the 4th, 24-7, 24-14, 24-27. They score. 27-21 is the final score. I don't know what more they have to do, but in the playoffs, this team just continues to struggle. I think I need to change the scheme back to quit favoring Justin Fields. It's a 269, 3 touchdown game for him, 266 and 2 touchdowns for JJ McCarthy. Rushing, you had K9 with 14 carries and 67 yards and 1 touchdown. Justin Fields outran Terrell Davis as he had more attempts. Terrell had 8 rushes for 24 yards. Justin Fields had 10 rushes for 52. So, and I think going into his last year in Chicago here, this would be year 8. It is the last season he is under contract with this team. We're going to change up the schemes again to try and favor a more elusive back like Terrell Davis and give him an opportunity to succeed more in this last season. As we go into year 8, Justin Fields is still here at an 84. They have finally lost DJ Moore. There's Samuel at receiver 1, Baker is receiver 2 at a 76, Cole Kmet's down to an 80. Terrell is all the way down to an 86. It's not looking too hot. Following this season, we'll take a look at his career stats as he's regressed down to an 86, so he might end up retiring early in this as well. As we sim to the playoffs, I'm not expecting too much from this team, especially losing DJ Moore, and with the fall off of this offense, or at least the receiving core, I should say. I did change up the scheme again to try and favor him. We'll see if it does anything different for this team. I really, honestly, I don't know if I'm expecting it to or not, because this team's just bad. This season, they end up missing the playoffs. Once again, they go 9-8, barely missed the cut, but they missed it. So the last season, Terrell Davis is under contract with this team. They don't make the playoffs. This season, he did have just around the same stats. Wow. 304 attempts for 1,250 yards and 10 touchdowns. We'll take a look at his receiving stats real quick, as he had 39 catches for 392 and 3 touchdowns. So that is 13 touchdowns on the season, and again, 1,600 yards. Take a look here at his career stats, where you can see he has 2,261 carries for just under 10,000 yards, 74 touchdowns, and 2 fumbles in his career. Receiving wise for his career, he has 283 catches for 2,300 yards and 14 touchdowns. So altogether, what's that? 14 plus 74, you get 84 touchdowns out of him, and like 12,200 yards total with the receiving yards added on. So with that missing the playoffs, we go on to year 9. He does have the potential to leave, or he has the potential to retire. This is really all up to him here, or he could re-sign and continue to suffer with the Chicago Bears team, which I hate. I hate it. I hate when the sims go like this. Usually when I resim, I want the guy to do good. We're resimulating a career, but it's just kind of one of those things that in the NFL, if a player got a second shot at a career, there's no guarantee that he's going to be an all-star. I guess not all-star, Pro Bowler, starter, all pro. Like, they don't say all star in the NFL, but like Hall of Fame players say they have a second run at their career. There's almost no guarantee that they're gonna be that caliber of a player again. Like, this is just thinking of an example from my own team. Say Hines Ward got another shot in the NFL. Do I think Hines Ward would be a good receiver again? Yes, but is he going to end up being like a number one all-time receiver in today's NFL with the talent? I honestly don't know. So as we go into year 9, he is back. The starting quarterback's now Kenny Pickett. Oh my goodness. He is all the way down to normal dev at an 82 overall. I'm assuming he's back on a 1-year deal. He's got one last year left in him. If it's a 2-year deal, okay, but I'm pretty positive it's a 2-year deal. Okay, so he's back for at least 2 more years. And now we sim through year 9. We'll see what happens. They have a new quarterback under center now. I don't know how I feel about throwing Kenny Pickett in as the starter. The Chicago Bears team that's already struggled. And following his 9th season, Chris Dale has been fired, and I think that gives me a hint that they didn't make the playoffs. So now we once again have to retire a coach and go in here and see who the Bears have. It wants me to take over as Kenny Pickett, which I'm obviously not going to do. We're going to go to coach. We're going to create another coach. We'll go staff builder this time, and we'll just see who they give us, and we'll take him. Phil Rickert. So this team this season had the worst rated offense in the league, 22nd ranked defense. They went 7-10 somehow with those numbers, but the 18th ranked rushing offense, as the rushing game was at least still decent. Kenny threw 3,500 yards, 24 touchdowns, and 6 picks. We'll go look at rushing, where Terrell Davis has declined. He had 245 carries for 1,033 yards and only 3 touchdowns. We take a look at his career stats: 2,500 carries for about 11,000 yards, 77 touchdowns, and 2 fumbles. Receiving, he really didn't make that much of a mark receiving this year. Yeah, receiving, he had 38 catches for 320 and 2 touchdowns. So he had a decent season all around. So Terrell Davis is no longer here as they once again switch quarterbacks and now have Mac Jones. We'll take a look at the retirements and see if he's a free agent. If he's a free agent, I'm going to sign him wherever I feel like it because he's not coming back to Chicago. See, and I guess this week's Sims have given us like the full experience of doing these. Is sometimes players are going to be good, sometimes players are going to be bad. Because Johnny Manziel went to 9 Super Bowls, whereas Terrell Davis hasn't even won a playoff game in his career. So I didn't see him in the retirements list, so my guess is he either signed somewhere else or he is a free agent. We'll take a look at the NFL rosters and see who has him. There is Terrell Davis. He is now a Minnesota Viking as he is 32 years old now. He is a 75 overall, so I imagine this is a 1-year deal in Minnesota. We're going to jump over there and see what happens here in his final year. We're going to release any other running back on the roster that is above him. Vikings currently have Victor Price as their current head coach. We'll take a look here and see who they are playing, or see who the starting running back is. So the starting running back has been released. There is still a 71 overall above him. We're going to have to release him too. For some reason, this team had 5 running backs on the roster. So now Terrell Davis is the starting running back for the Minnesota Vikings, where you have Robertson here at quarterback. Jay Jettis is still around, probably suffering. So is Jordan Addison. They don't have TJ Hawkinson anymore. This team doesn't look much better than the Bears we were rocking with. So we'll see what they can manage to do this season, as it is Terrell's 10th season in the league as we sim towards the playoffs. So this team ends up going 9-8 and missing the playoffs in Terrell's 10th season. You can see they had the 18th ranked rushing offense, 22nd ranked total offense. We needed Perk Thuggins back. Rushing, Terrell Davis does have one of his best seasons touchdown-wise, as he had 283 carries for just over 1,000 yards and 13 touchdowns. Take a look receiving, he had 41 catches for 234 and a touchdown. As I'm pretty sure this is his last season, we'll take a look. They have Kenny Pickett. I didn't even realize that. He followed Kenny to Minnesota. Take a look as he almost surpassed 12,000 yards. He had 2,789 carries, 11,904 yards. He ended up scoring 90 touchdowns, still only had the 2 fumbles. Receiving wise, we once again go over here and look where he had 362 catches, 2,878 yards, and 17 touchdowns. So in his career, he surpassed 100 touchdowns. He had 107, and he has just around 14,000 total scrimmage yards in his career, which is a pretty decent career. It's pretty good. Not what you'd expect from like a Hall of Fame caliber running back, but you know that he was underutilized everywhere he went, and he spent 9 seasons with the Chicago Bears, who are historically bad. I mean, I guess not historically. They had years of good, like way back in the 80s, but haven't been good since then. But shout out Jay Cutler and Matt Forte. That's the only time I've ever seen the Bears genuinely be a decent team. Actually, I take that back. I think when Mitch was there, they had a 12-4 season with Mitch. We go here and we take a look at the retirements. He's not there for the Vikings retirements. Let's scroll down and see if maybe he just doesn't have a team down here. So I don't see him in the retirements. Maybe he's back for another season in Minnesota. Let's take a look look here. So he's not here in Minnesota. My guess is he's probably in the free agents, where I'm going to just force him onto a team that has a bad running back. And there he is. He's a 71 overall sitting in free agency. Where I'm going to force him to go, I'm not sure yet, but we'll take a look here. Actually, I'll just re-sign him to Minnesota and he'll play one more season here. So I released the 2 running backs on the roster in front of him. He is now a 71 overall and is a starting running back. Robertson is still here. There is no Kenny Pickett here anymore. Jordan Addison's now receiver 1, as I'm assuming J-Jet is probably retired. Telfer is here at receiver 2. You also have Leno here at tight end. We'll see if this team can do anything this season. I highly doubt it. This will just be a year to boost Terrell Davis's stats a little more. And well, for the 3rd time this video, I have had a coach get fired that was following Terrell Davis, so now we have to go take over as a new coach of the Minnesota Vikings. That's wild that happened 3 times in this video. So once again, we're bringing in Chris Dale. Chris Dale comes back as a head coach once again, this time to coach the Minnesota Vikings. This is what's going to push Terrell to retire, getting this coach back. We go over here, we look at the stats. Braxton Robertson isn't great. We go down to rushing, where you had Terrell Davis, who had 282 carries for 925 and 6 touchdowns. Receiving wise, Terrell had 29 catches for 197 and no touchdowns. So once again, it was just a season to boost his stats a little bit. We go over here, we look at rushing. He had 3,071 attempts in his career. He had almost 13,000 yards and 96 touchdowns. Still only the 2 fumbles though, which is impressive. We go to receiving, where he is the 2nd leading receiver on this team all time with 391 catches for 3,075 yards and 17 touchdowns. So that puts him at 114 touchdowns in his career, or 113 touchdowns in his career. And then yard wise, let's see, that plus that, it's around 16,000 yards. So again, a very impressive career, probably good enough to still go into the Hall of Fame. He'll be seen as one of those running backs that had all the potential to be great, but could never actually do anything with it because the teams around him were terrible. We'll go take a look here, see if he actually does retire, if he does return. I'm imagining at a 71, though, he's going to retire following that season. We take a look at retired, and there you have it. Halfback Terrell Davis retires after 11 years in the NFL. We'll go over here to the media thing and see if it says anything about him making the Hall of Fame, which I don't think it says as often anymore. I don't think it pops up in here like it used to, and just scrolling through this, giving it the eye test, I don't see anything about it. But we'll go take a look at where he lands on the all-time numbers. We know his all-time numbers, and I don't know if he'll actually be anywhere with that. We'll go take a look at career rushing yards. I think he does end up falling just short. He's about 1,000 yards short of that. Career touchdowns, he falls short on that as well. So in legacy score, he's not on here, but I know he at least should be. And scrolling down here, he should be somewhere in here because I know he had over 3,000. But that's just Madden being Madden, and he doesn't show up on here. Yeah, no, he's nowhere to be seen on here. So Terrell Davis's career did not go at all how you would hope it would on a second time around. He wasn't able to get nearly any accolades. I don't think he won any kind of award or anything throughout his 11-year career compared to what he did in real life. He did end up having a pretty good career all around. I mean, for him at least, stat-wise, he had a pretty good career, but for his teams, nothing big ever happened. But I guess when you go from having John Elway to having Kenny Pickett and Justin Fields as your quarterbacks, that's what you can expect. But this, again, like I said earlier, just kind of shows the fun of doing these sims, is you really never know what you're getting into when you go into these. I hate uploading these ones where they do bad, but I can't expect the player to do good every time. Or at least I can't expect the player to like win playoff games or absolutely dominate the league. But with that out of the way, guys, this one has been, it's been fun, I guess. Thank you guys for watching, though. Feel free to leave a like and subscribe. Thank you everyone who has watched this video. I will talk to you all in the next one. Peace out.